In this video tutorial we will show you how to easily install Carpe Iter controller app on Garmin Thread Overland device, and specifically how to do it without even needing to connect to your computer, how to do it online. So go to the browser on your Garmin Thread, type in carpeiter.com. You don't need to take any notes, everything will be in the comments down below the video. And now go to support, manuals, scroll down to the Garmin Thread Overland section, click on the installation guide. It opens up another page which contains all the detail that you need, and scroll down to the download button and click download. It's going to be downloading the installation file from our Google Drive. So no preview available, that's okay, because it's an APK file. It doesn't have any preview. And it should start any second, hopefully. Okay, download anyway. This is a general warning about APK files. It's also mentioned in the written manual. Yes, we really do want to download anyway, so I hope something is going on. Some services on Garmin Thread are taking a little longer. I think it's got something to do with power optimization. So now we have the file downloaded. Just to finish mentioning, APK files cannot be scanned. They're specific files for installing applications on Android systems. Don't worry about all these warnings if you would be installing our controller app. Okay, just to finish, don't worry about all these warnings. It is exact same code like it is distributed through the Google Play Store, so there's nothing harmful. All these warnings are just general about APKs. It's nothing specific about our specific app. There's nothing insecure or something you should be, or anything that you should be afraid of. Now this is something I also wanted to show you. When you click on the download link, you get this pop-up. If you enable that, the browser on Garmin Thread Overland will be able to install any APK files. I would recommend not to do it, because then you might be installing something you don't really want. So let's just cancel that. So let's just go ahead and do it through the pre-installed files application, File Explorer. So go to the, let me show you again, go to the apps from the main screen, select files, and now do not click on the recent, because it's going to again try to install it through the browser. So go to files, select the device, scroll down to download folder. There you see the file again, and click on that. This is the general warning. It was mentioned in the written manual as well. This is again a general APK warning. As I was explaining before, there's nothing dangerous about the specific app that we are installing now. It's the same code that you are getting through the Google Play Store. So let's just go ahead and continue. Yes, we definitely want to install the app. And now we want to open it. And now we need to go through the permissions approval routine. Please approve everything, or the app is not going to work properly. As a consequence, the controller is not going to work properly. So running on the background, it means that the system is not going to be shutting down our service due to battery optimizations. This is really important, so let's allow that. Hopefully I managed to click it. And now let's start, and there is going to be yet another series of permissions that we need to approve. Hello. This is how it works on all Android devices, so don't worry about that. And this is the most important one. That's the one that really makes sure that everything works, both on the system menus and also in the Garmin Thread Overland navigation app. So let's allow that. And the last one, brightness, because you can change brightness through the Carpater HUD. Now I've already paired the controller before, so if I would click yes, it would connect to the controller that's already stored in the list of paired devices. But let me just delete it and show you how it works when you start really clean, because that's exactly what you will be doing. So let's finish the video now. I will be back in a second. Okay, and we are back. So let's try again with Adventure. The LEDs before you will be connecting will look something like that. Color code corresponding to the input voltage level. Let's just go connect. It's telling you you should press a button, but you don't really need to. It goes automatically. As you can see, it found the controller automatically. Now it's already connected. Now we can test that the buttons actually work and that we have good connection. And this is it. And one last thing, we can finish setup now. And one last thing that I should be mentioning: when you connect the controller, you get a pop-up in the system menu, configure physical keyboard. This is relatively important. Some people are struggling with that. Unless you set this up, you will not be shown the on-screen keyboard when you're typing an address or something else. And this is what we need to enable. Show virtual keyboard enabled. It's already enabled here. Make sure it's green like that. Otherwise, when you will want to start typing into a text field, like for search, this pop-up keyboard that you would be using for typing would not be showing, and you obviously need it to show. And you do it through this setting that's going to pop up when you connect the controller. Yeah, connect it, Adventure Control. This is the abbreviation for Adventure Control. That's our device. And another thing I wanted to mention is the idle mode. The controller is switching off essentially. It's not really off, but the consumption is in nanoamps. So it's really negligible. And depending on the voltage in your operating system, I mean in your electrical system on the bike, on some bikes, when the voltage level is low on idle, you might have too much consumption in the system, or the alternator or DC rectifier is not working as it should, or generally the bike has a weak alternator. Then you might want to switch off the power saving feature, which is right here. Disable idle mode. When you disable idle mode, the controller will stay on regardless of the voltage level in your motorcycle power system. At the same time, it means it's not going to be switching off really. So if you are having problems with the controller going into idle mode, which then takes a few seconds for it to reconnect when you start pressing the buttons again. So if you are experiencing problems with that, just disable the idle mode. However, that means it's never going to go to sleep, so the LEDs are going to keep shining. It's going to be draining your bike battery. Just recently we optimized the idle mode, so you shouldn't be having a lot of problems with the controller going into idle mode without you actually wanting it to. We prolonged the timeouts and we adjusted a little the voltage levels. But if you are still having problems, this is the setting that is going to fix it for you. And now we're connected. Just to really quickly check that everything is working. Yes, we agree. And as we were showing on another video, this is how it works on the stock Garmin navigation app. And maybe just another quick look at Locus Map. We were showing that also on another video. Just simply switch over to Locus. Everything works in Locus as well. That's how actually the Carpe Iter automatic app profiling works. It's just reconfiguring the controller on the fly for each individual app. All right, so that's it. Thanks a lot and enjoy.